All right. I think we can get started here. There's a lot of people coming into the room, a lot more coming. Very excited to have this talk today. So I want to thank you so much for joining us today, wherever you are. My name is Lisa Shomo. I am the Senior Manager, Content Marketing here at Biome. New face, new voice on the webinars. I'm so happy to be on board to help host our webinar events. And I'm especially happy to be here with the great Dr. Grant Antoine, member of our amazing Biome Clinical Nutrition team. And we are here to talk to you about what is considered the future of healthcare, and that is taking a precision angle to medicine and nutrition. And so right now, I'm going to turn the floor over to Grant to enlighten us just a little bit more on this topic. Thanks, Grant.
Thank you, Lisa. Good morning, everybody, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for joining us. You know, at Viome, we're really interested in the future of healthcare, and we want to be a part of that future and a part of that change that gets us there, right? In fact, that's what initially brought me to Viome. I got my start working in the emergency department and witnessed firsthand how modern medicine was really failing at addressing chronic disease, right? You know, modern medicine really excels at acute care, emergent care, surgical interventions. It's amazing what we can do to save lives. But in the ER, which is truly the front door of the hospital system, you don't just see the gunshots and the motor vehicle accidents, but you also see the diabetics, the heart patients, the kidney patients, the cancer patients undergoing chemo and radiation. You really see it all. And over time, it becomes very apparent that the hospital system isn't really serving these patients well. I mean, we can admit them, we can stabilize their condition, get them back on their feet, but then we put them right back into the real world, into their community, and it's really only a matter of time before they're coming right back into the ER, into the hospital system. And when you have relationships with these patients and you see them coming in over the years, slowly deteriorating, you know, receiving multiple amputations, being put on dialysis, having their teeth pulled out, you know, as docs are trying to find a source of infection, you really begin to ask, what are we doing here? This is what led me to integrative medicine. It fueled my passion for lifestyle medicine, for patient education, patient empowerment, and improved access to high quality care. And when the opportunity with Viome came along, I saw how this platform could support all of those things and really provide a way of assessing an individual's biology and their microbiome effects to improve their health and give them the skills and the knowledge they need to establish their own health. So no one in the world is approaching human health the way we are through transcriptomics, machine learning. It's these technologies that really set the stage for the next revolution in precision medicine and nutrition. So what is precision medicine? Precision medicine really, in its simplest form, is using data to identify subgroups or individuals that differ in their susceptibility to a particular disease or their response to a specific treatment, right? So this is sometimes referred to as deep phenotyping, and the ultimate goal is to improve outcomes for these folks, right? A good example would be SSRIs like Prozac and Zoloft. You know, they're really only truly effective in treating depression in about 1/3 of patients. Like, what's going on here? You know, another third, they see some benefit, another third, they see no benefit. So how can we better understand the biology of those that aren't responding and then tailor treatments to their biology, again, to improve their outcomes and improve their health? We can evaluate multiple areas of biology, right? We can look at the genetics, the epigenetics, gene expression through transcriptomics. We can look at them through a systems biology approach to better understand how their nervous system might be communicating with their endocrine system in the case of these depressed patients. And we can look at the proteome and the metabolome and further identify patterns in their biology that help guide more effective treatments and strategies and move us closer to a root cause analysis, maybe even a preventative strategy. And when we see problems like these all across medicine, precision medicine really is helping to provide solutions for these problems. Things like asthma, where we can identify the subtypes of asthma and predict how they're going to respond to corticosteroids, targeted therapies for cystic fibrosis, that's a mouthful, COPD. The take-home message is we can't take a cookie cutter approach to medicine and expect to see great outcomes, right? We're leaving people behind because there's so much individuality in how we experience a disease and how we respond to treatments. But by using a multidisciplinary big data approach, we can begin to unlock these mechanisms that lend to our uniqueness and hopefully improve our health in our lives. For Viome, what we're most interested in is how we can early detect and prevent disease, which is why we've been using these technological approaches to focus on the microbiome and nutrition. I guess that brings me to what is nutrition, precision nutrition. So under the umbrella of precision medicine sits precision lifestyle medicine and precision nutrition, which fundamentally uses the same approach, but instead of assessing disease phenotypes and pharmacological genotypes, we're now aiming to optimize the diet and nutrition of the individual. Again, with precision nutrition, just like precision medicine, we have to assume that individuals have their individual responses to foods and nutrients so that the best diet for one may look very different from another. And this is important because of the role of nutrition plays in not only providing the nutrient building blocks our bodies need to do the work, but in also turning on and off genes that support health and prevent disease. There's so much information that's wrapped into our food, just into an apple, information that goes far beyond the macros, how many carbs or how much vitamin C are in the apple, fruits, vegetables, diet. They provide a signal that influences gene expression of both our microbiome and our own cells. And we want to have a positive influence on this expression because it's going to determine how susceptible we are to dysfunction and disease. So food is medicine. It absolutely is. Most of us are familiar with this expression, but I want to take it a step further and help you understand food is information, because that medicine, our food, it can be good medicine or it can be bad medicine, depending on our choices. But if we begin to understand that food is information and we understand how that information is being used to make decisions at the genetic and molecular level, then now we've shifted the paradigm. And now it's not just about how much sugar or fat is in a particular food, but what information does it provide to my biology and what signal is there? Because we're all receiving information in our own way and we're all responding to that information in our own way. So there are multiple mechanisms at play here. Many of you're going to be familiar with, immune reactions, for example. We all have very different immune responses to individual foods, and knowing which foods may or may not trigger an inflammatory cascade can have profound impacts on things like joint pain and arthritis, autoimmune triggers and flares, the development of metabolic disease, diabetes, heart disease. Microbiome responses and influencing patterns in taxa and bacterial production metabolites, that these metabolites that communicate or send signals to our immune system and our immune system, nervous system, which they respond to. And then there's individual nutrient absorption and metabolism, things like iron, vitamin D, the B vitamins. How efficient are we at methylating? How quickly do we metabolize carbohydrates, and how does our blood glucose respond to foods? As we begin to uncover all the layers, you can see there's a ton of nuance and complexity, but that's important if we want to optimize diet for the individual and improve outcomes. So there shouldn't be just the classic personalization of diet, right? This idea that I have high cholesterol, so the doctor tells me I need to go on a heart healthy diet. Maybe it's low fat, maybe it's a Mediterranean diet. Yes, there's going to be benefit in following these recommendations, but there's also those that won't receive the full benefit. Again, folks are going to get left behind. So applying a precision nutrition recommendation can build upon that personalization and what we already know about certain diet types, but now we're fine tuning it to the individual to maximize the potential of those changes. So now maybe it's not just, your standard diet. Now we're looking at how we can leverage their microbiome to improve the fat and cholesterol metabolism. We're assessing, are they high absorbers of cholesterol? Are they high producers of cholesterol? We're looking at how they metabolize uric acid, homocysteine, TMAO. What's their APOE phenotype? Are they more susceptible to dietary fats and inflammation? Could something as beneficial as fish oil still increase someone's LDL cholesterol? Again, this idea that not all healthy foods are healthy for everyone in every situation. There's a ton of data points to consider for precision nutrition to be effective and a lot of complexity. So there are many critics that say precision nutrition, it's not ready for prime time. And, big picture, this may be true. We have a lot to learn and do, but that doesn't mean that we can't start applying what we already know today. In fact, if we begin to implement what we know now, we may learn even more than we would, waiting for a perfect solution in 10 or 20 years. And that's where Viome steps in. What can we measure? What can we analyze today? And how can we improve nutritional recommendations for the individual with the ultimate goal of preventing or reversing chronic disease, right? So what information can you give your body so that it's optimizing function? Next slide. So most of you are going to be familiar with Viome's microbiome testing and our human gene expression testing. We've also moved into the oral microbiome space and can now measure pathway activity and microbial taxa through saliva. These tests, they provide unique insights into your biology that form the basis of our precision nutrition recommendations. They provide molecular clues to your biology and provide targets that we can match with nutrients and other constituents in foods to optimize functional pathway activity. We use the health scores and attempt to simplify all the tremendous amount of data and that complexity in your biology. And we try to make it as tangible and actionable as possible, right? Because if you can't do it today, what good are we doing? We're evaluating your unique responses to foods, your unique needs, and using that information along with the questionnaire inputs you provide to tailor a precision nutrition plan that's best for you. So along with the microbiome scores, looking at gas production, looking at gut lining health, inflammatory activity, looking at the overall metabolic fitness of your microbiome, going back to how you're metabolizing fats and carbohydrate, even amino acids. We're also applying our robust glycemic response model to predict how individual foods will impact your blood sugar. Any food that's likely to cause a blood sugar spike, we're going to minimize. And then we consider other inputs, your age, your sex, your BMI, your hip to waist ratio. We even measure your activity level using a clinically validated physical activity questionnaire. All these inputs are being assessed to tailor your nutritional recommendations to your needs, your biology, and to your goals. So there's actually a ton we can do today when it comes to precision nutrition. Next slide. And again, we want to keep things as simple as possible from a user perspective. What good are recommendations if you can't put them into action? We provide all your results or recommendations in a newly designed app to provide as little or as much information as you want. You can really go down the rabbit hole if you're curious to know more about what a score is measuring or why a recommendation was given. From a precision nutrition perspective, we're giving your target macros to our daily food serving goals. And when it comes to how to modify your diet, we keep it as simple as possible too. Simply remove your avoid foods, emphasize your superfoods, and go to town on your enjoys. We've seen tremendous success with our dietary recommendations. We have preliminary data on its effectiveness in addressing functional issues, things like functional GI issues like IBS, metabolic disease, diabetes, as well as some mental health, depression, anxiety. We have multiple larger clinical trials that are underway and upcoming to provide even more support, we hope, for our approach and its impact on health outcomes. Next slide. And then we also have our precision supplement system. It's I always like talking about our precision supplements. It's really interesting how much flack we receive for selling supplements. We didn't start as a supplement company. We started as a transcriptomic microbiome company, but we recognized the utility in supplemental nutrition, and we saw a true need. Our customers were struggling with access to high quality, affordable supplements, and we're asking for guidance on where and how to find certain brands, certain nutrients, other so-called high quality brands for, throwing probiotics in with herbs and other nutrients that we know kill off the bacteria. So there's virtually no probiotic in the product when you consume it. But, they just want to be able to put it on the label. So it dawned on us like, hey, we could really provide this service. So we could provide these nutrients. We could formulate them in real time, have control over each ingredient, each dose, and provide a tailored nutritional supplement at a third of the cost. It might be if you were to go out to the marketplace and purchase each individual ingredient. We're really proud of what we've been able to build. If you haven't seen the videos on how we use robotics to formulate your supplements, I encourage you to go on YouTube and check it out. We're also really proud of the benefit we're able to provide through the targeted delivery of micronutrients, phytonutrients, herbs, vitamins, minerals, the prebiotics, the probiotics. It's really nothing short of remarkable. And again, this is information for your biology that we can provide and leverage in the improvement of your health. Next slide. We're always going to be a huge proponent of whole food nutrition. It's fundamental to improving health. It's this information that influences our genes and how our bodies respond to the environment around us. Supplements are an effective tool to further improve this nutritional signal, and combined with that fundamental diet, we're providing very targeted and very potent, we hope, recommendations and really therapy for establishing health. And when we put it all together, our advanced testing in the microbiome, human gene expression, the over 60 health scores and countless underlying biochemical pathways we measure, our proprietary glycemic response model based on the largest study of its kind, and all the inputs we collect from your questionnaire, we're able to develop a precision nutrition program that's designed to address your unique needs and correct any dysfunction that might have been identified in your biology. We feel precision is the future. We're happy to build that future while also providing actionable insights that can support your health and wellness today. Thank you for your time, and please sure to send in any questions or comments you may have.
Awesome. Thank you, Grant. That's all amazing. Totally amazing. I actually had a question for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So this is really fantastic. And I was wondering, why is this not a standard practice with all doctors and medical practitioners with their patients today? It seems like it would be very useful.
Yeah, it's a great question. The shortest answer really, it's a lack of resources. The amount of time, the effort, the expertise, and technology required to develop these approaches and produce solutions, it's not trivial. There are institutions that are focused on this area of research, folks at Scripps Research Translational Institute, Vanderbilt Center for Precision Medicine, Harvard. The NIH has also put in money down through several large research grants supporting the development of these approaches. So, precision medicine, it's here in a small way, but there's work to be done before it's a part of our daily lives. But, the exception, of course, is going to be Viome. We're a bit more agile and self-sufficient, and have passionate people driving the development of our platforms and, of course, our technology. Viome is a leader in transcriptomic technology. We have the world's largest RNA database, in our data science and analytic teams, our machine learning teams. They're top notch. Combine that with our leadership. They're dedicated. They have the vision, the ability to navigate through all the economic and regulatory challenges to find solutions to bring our science to people to start having an impact today. It's really amazing. It's unprecedented, and we're truly fortunate to work here.
Absolutely, completely agree. Well, thank you, Grant, for being here today and talking to us about this very important topic. It's exciting to see the ground that precision nutrition is gaining in medicine, and also how more accessible precision nutrition is to the public, putting healthcare back into everyone's hands. And so I want to thank you all for joining us today on the webinar. We know that your time is valuable, and you chose to spend this time with Grant and myself.
Hey, Lisa, do you mind if I try to tackle a couple of quick questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
I just want to scroll through. I won't be able to get to everyone, but I just want to see. It looks like Diane, does this program work for people who do not have a smartphone? Absolutely. You don't have to, we recommend the smartphone in the app, but you can always go on through your web browser through any computer and get the access to the same information. Faith's asking about, do we test our supplements? Absolutely, we test our supplements. We have third-party testing. We do our own testing. We're only looking for the highest quality, highest purity removing contaminants. Leslie's asking, where does the mRNA come in? mRNA, the transcriptomics, that comes in when we're trying to understand which genes are being expressed, right? Because we can look at the genome and we can see all of our genetics, but that's really just a blueprint. It doesn't tell us, which genes are actually being expressed and why. And the RNA tells us all that and more. Gives us a really good sense of, what the cell, whether that's a bacteria cell in our microbiome or it's our human cells, what the cell is experiencing and responding to, and what that environment might look like for the cells. Is it inflammatory? Is it conducive to what we feel are beneficial pathways and promoting health? Jennifer's asking, how's this compared to GI map that I received from my doctor? GI map is going to be a more diagnostic test, more clinical, that a doctor would have to order for you and review with you. I think the biggest difference, GI map is only looking at the genetics of the microbes. They don't look at activity. They're not measuring what the microbes are actually doing, right? That's important. This is akin to knowing the characters in the play or in the movie. We know all the players, but we know the names, but we know who are the good guys, who are the bad guys. We don't know what the plot is, what they're doing, saying, what they're experiencing. Our test in transcriptomics gives you all of that, plus what GI map can provide. But again, they are a clinical diagnostic. We're in the wellness space. Let's see. Someone, Diana, did you say the Viome supplements are targeted to the individual client? Yes, they absolutely are. Again, invite you to check out YouTube. We have some videos on there and how we are able to do that. No one else in the industry is. We will take all your results, use that to match you with those most targeted ingredients that are going to be optimal for you and everything we're measuring. And then we can custom blend that specifically for you. We sonically mix it, encapsulate it, put it in sachets for daily use, and send that to your home. It's really great. Margot saying define some categories, but I don't see what category she's referring to. Is this good? Peggy's asking, is this good for a 65-year-old with autoimmune disease? Absolutely. It's good for everyone. We have children, teenagers, young, old, healthy, unhealthy. I believe because it is a customized solution, we're measuring your individual biology and providing unique recommendations for you. I really feel it's for everyone. Everyone could benefit, and it's never too late to start. Sheesh, I see. Thank you for the praise. You said you had some questions, but I can't see what your actual questions are. I'm sorry. I can't really speak. I think that's kind of it. There's some personal stuff here that I don't necessarily want to touch into. Why do you not have, this is from Tom, why do you not have specialists on your team to answer questions about your plan? We're actually working on this right now. We want to be able to provide live support, so stay tuned. We've heard your calls, and we do want to give you that support, because it's important, right? Again, if you can't understand your plan and implement it, as simple as we try to make it, if you can't take that and run with it, then we're not doing our jobs. You're not going to get that benefit. So we see that, we hear that, and we're going to do our best to try to provide more support in that area. I think that's good.
Yeah.
Here it is. Do we have referrals? No, I can't say we have referrals. Candy, are the results more based off our samples or the questionnaire? Absolutely, they're going to be more based off your samples. We prioritize the scores and the biology we're able to measure. Those are, first and foremost, but then, there's valuable information in the questionnaire, and we do use that to tailor it, whether it's for your allergies to foods, your sensitivities, any medications that you're on. We consider that, and we assess for any possible interaction there might be between a food or a supplement. again, your activity level, your biometrics, and just your overall, like, how are you experiencing, how's your digestion? Are you having gas and bloating, constipation, diarrhea? That gives us information to, again, further tailor. It really provides a context for the scores, and that identifies patterns for us, where we can combine that molecular data with your symptomology, and moving forward, talking about the future and how we're going to be able to improve upon everything we've already been able to do. But how do we progress? And it's about getting that data, and doing that learning and analyzing to improve. Do we offer individual coaching? That's coming from Dina. Not yet, but stay tuned. Do we offer L-Reuteri and our probiotics? Yes, we do. When will we be shipping vitamins to Canada? Lana, I don't know, but I'll get on to Naveen and see when we can get on that. There's always regulatory hurdles. I think that's about it. I think we'll wrap it up. What do you think?
That's awesome. I mean, we're at about time here for the end of the webinar. Thank you so much for taking that extra time and answering those individual questions. We appreciate the extra time. And once again, thank you everybody for joining us. We have more webinars in the works, so we hope to see you right back here for more events again very soon. And because you are with us today, we have a special offer for you to get you started or to continue on your health journey. So you can use the code webinar at checkout to receive an additional $50 off of our full body intelligence test, which is our newest and most advanced test. It includes the 3 samples, stool, blood, and the oral microbiome with the saliva. It's fantastic results. You have to see it to believe it. So thank you again. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Grant, and have a wonderful day, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.